heartbreaking revelation from the man who engineered the miracle on the Hudson.
Captain Sully Sullenberger says he has been diagnosed with early-stage Alzheimer's. Brennan has more.
He was the hero of the miracle on the Hudson, but now 75-year-old Chesley Sully Sullenberger is fighting the battle of his life, announcing he's been diagnosed with Alzheimer's. It is early stage, he wrote. For now, this means a name may not come easily to me. I forget a story I've recently told, or I don't sleep as well, but I am in the beginning of this long journey. In his statement, Sullenberger harkened back to that day in 2009 when he managed to land his jet after both engines were knocked out by a flock of birds. Over the years, he wrote, when people would ask about the successful outcome of Flight 1549, I would say that courage can be contagious. And on that day, it helped everyone band together to get everyone off that airplane successfully.
Even though it's a serious diagnosis, it's not a hopeless diagnosis.
Dr. Silke Palajani of Weill Cornell College says there are misconceptions about people with the illness.
They can absolutely function, especially in early stages of the disease. You know, it's a gradually progressive disease, and the course is several years, if not over, at least a decade or 15 years, or more even for some people.
Now, Sullenberger hopes by making this announcement, he can give strength to others.
Someone like Sully, who is so public, who is not only making the announcement, but talking so positively about how he's wanting to raise awareness and use his position to help others know about that. It's really important for us in this cause. So much of what we need to do is make people more aware.
Experts say despite the diagnosis, many can still live a full life.
There are many people who are living well with dementia. We have an early stage advisory group of people who are active, who are leaders, who are parents, who are partners, who are living well with the disease, and who are thriving.
Alzheimer's doesn't define who you are. It may change part of the journey and part of their journey, but it doesn't erase a lifetime of accomplishments, wisdom, or someone's identity.
Now, some people may be saying, well, I'm forgetting names or stories. And if you are truly concerned, go to the Alzheimer's Association website. They have things you can differentiate between something that's harmless or perhaps more meaningful. And Christine and Jessica, of course, you're always told to see your doctor before you can get really concerned about this.
That early awareness is so important, so you know the tools that you have at your disposal, right?
It really is, but it's also very difficult because you can imagine what people like that go through. We know Bill Ritter, ABC, doing the same thing, but so brave to go forward with it.
Yeah, really brave. Thank you, Dick.